always hoped there will be another John Wick, but after seeing him most likely dying in a fourth movie, it is quite unlikely that they will continue the story as one where John Wick actually is alive in a forward capacity, and not the movie where they go into depth in his background, which seems like the most likely choice. But movies such as this one called Monkey Man is a movie that really makes you miss John Wick. Apart from the first 40 minutes, which is kinda slow, you go on to cool action scenes and character building of the main character played by Dev Patel. What's also quite unique in this movie is that he both has the leading role in his own movie, where he is also the director, which is something you hardly see these days. I think also that's a rather unique feature we really should give a blessing towards. Really, those intense action scenes in the second part are really scenes that remind you of John Wick, both during the gun shootouts and the fights, because there's not any amateur shit where everybody falls down after one gunshot. It is actually a careful craft involved in those scenes in order to entertain you the same way John Wick is built up, like a visual violence train. The same goes with this movie, which is surely inspired by John Wick, the way it is done. Also during the fights, that's also something that gives a shining light of inspiration to a John Wick movie. I would also say it is a clever revenge plot in this movie because at first you can see the Monkey Man, the warrior, that is built up in the story as a legend, take on conversations with this elderly man, which is one of the corrupt leaders he later kills in this movie, which tells about his wisdom and how he was never responsible for the murder of his mother. That's the guy he later kills in the movie in a brutal fashion, and the way we see brutal violence in this story is something that at times makes this an entertaining action movie. It is also an action movie that gives more context to the revenge. It is just not the cliche stuff where somebody has either taken his dog or his wife and he is out for revenge right away. The revenge plot is deeper, where it is built up over so many years and it gets closer and closer in order for his plan to work, and then finally deals the killing blow to the corrupt leaders responsible. It is of course exciting to see that people still want to make these more brutal action movies such as this one, Sisu and Mr. Nobody, and they all may have a slight touch of John Wick in all of those, but it is one of those reasons why you miss John Wick and how those movies really work when you walk in that direction. There's also a really enticing dark mood in this movie when Dev Patel goes through his training during his fights as the Monkey Man. It takes on a darker mood than most new action movies today. In a way, Monkey Man may also be a hero for the poor and marginalized, where John Wick is more an anti-hero type. That's more than most, is more out to kill those that goes against him personally. While Monkey Man perhaps is a deeper tale where it is all about fighting for those you love, the marginalized people, and the poor in a cruel, dark, cold, corrupt world, where it is all about who is the strongest animal in the jungle. Then although the movie is slow in the beginning, they craft the story quite decent over the course of this movie, and that's why for me it is enough for a 7.